And we are back. Pokemon Emerald Hardcore Nuzlocke. We are only going to be using normal type Pokemon. And as you can see, our rented Mudkip is not doing well against the buffed up Trico here. We've also implemented shiny Pokemon. We hacked those in, so we're going to add a little flair to this run as well. Roxanne with those rock types is going to be super difficult to beat with just normal types, but let's see if we can do this thing. For our Route 101 first encounter, also known as our de facto starter, it is going to be the Zigzagoon here. We're using the rented Mudkip just to chip her down, get her into a safer space with the last Pokeball that we have. We do secure it, and there we go. For our Route 104 first encounter is going to be the normal type Talo here. Drop back with the Pokeball and secure it. And then in Petalburg Woods, we run into the Slackoth here, just sleeping on the job. Drop back with the Pokeball and add a third team member to the mix. And then on our way to the Rustboro Tunnel where you find the Whismers, we actually ran into the Whismer on the route where you can get the Skitty. So unfortunately, we forfeit the Skitty encounter, leaving us with only 4 normal type Pokemon heading into this gym battle. All right, so Roxanne comes down, and if you have a grass-type Pokemon or a water-type Pokemon, you are looking pretty dang good, but we have none of those. We only have the normal type, so we cannot hit her for anything but not very effective. Maybe get an Astonish in there with the Whismer, but as you can see, we are just stalling out this Geodude so we can potentially get Slackoth out there for the Yawn and heal Cheese with the Slackoth, and we are just cheesing this Geodude to Kingdom Come so that the Whismer can get out there and get a +6 Howl, and it's just going to be beautiful. So it's basically going to be 3 Swords Dances, and I think that's really the only way we get out of here, potentially without losing anybody. So, and you can kind of see the foreshadowing with the Slackoth upgrading to that Vigoroth who can learn Bulk Up, and we can get some strats going with that. But as far as this first major battle, it is going to be an absolute slogfest. Also, the nicknames, because of the shiny hack that we used, it actually screws up all of our nicknames until we can get to that name raider. So right now, they're kind of just a jumbled mess with those characters, but we will fix that moving forward, so don't worry about that. If Geodude ever crits through all of those growls, it's just going to be absolutely brutal. But right now, it's just cheesing Defense Curl, so we've used up all of its points, and now we get our little Whismer out there, and we put the Geodude to sleep, and now we're just going to howl to the heavens and get that +6, and you're going to see, even with a +6 attack stat, it's going to be so brutal, because you still have to get through a whole other Geodude, and then a full-blown Nosepass, and you just don't have any tools. All you have is an Astonish that can hit for neutral, but it's only 35 power, and then a Pound, which goes to 60 with Stab, but drops to 30 because it's not very effective. Now, Astonish with the flinches can be huge, but maybe get a couple crits in there just to even out the scales, but this is rough as the second Geodude comes down. We go for the Astonish, we get big damage, and we do get a flinch. The little Whismer absolutely flexing, but we want to save the Astonish points for the Nosepass, and look at that raw damage from the Rock Throw, dropping us to 18. We don't have leftovers. We don't have anything that we can heal up other than an Oran Berry, and will it be enough as the Geodude falls? It just leaves the Ace Nosepass looking shiny, looking great. We have 7 Astonishes left. We are maxed out attack, and the Rock Tomb comes down. It is stabbed and leaves us at 4 HP, and our speed falls. We jump up to 14 with the Oran Berry, but we are absolutely in range. We pivot back into the Slackoth, which is an absolutely terrible idea because now we lose all 6 howls. But as you saw there, the Rock Tomb was going to connect and our Whismer was going to die. Now our Slackoth is stuck in here with the Nosepass, and its only damaging move is Scratch, which we only have 7 left of. And as you can see, that is an absolute problem. Even if we crit multiple times with the Scratch, the Nosepass has a berry on top of, I believe, 2 potions from Roxanne. So no matter what happens here, our Slackoth is going down. And as far as other options later in the run, we don't have any. So we lose Slackoth right there. We decide who goes out there first, and we send out the Zigzagoon who goes all in for the headbutt, but it doesn't do hardly anything. The Talo goes out there with a little shiny flex, hold on with the Rock Tomb, the Oran Berry for reprieve, but you die to another Rock Tomb, and all we have left is the little Whisper that could, and it's all over. There goes attempt number 1. All right, the biggest difference from attempt number 1 to attempt number 2 is we make sure to secure the Skitty, so that way we have 5 Pokemon going into this first gym battle. Will it be the difference? And, well, one might say it was the difference, but a critical hit Rock Throw takes down the Zigzagoon, and, And the same fate is going to happen to our poor Whismur. Gets absolutely slammed with a rock throw, leaving us at 9 HP, but a second rock throw is enough to take down the cute and cuddly little monster. The Taillow comes out, finishes the Geodude with an absolute flex. We get a growl in there, letting the Nosepass know who is boss, who it's stealing from, and it takes the Rock Tombs until it goes down. The Skitty's going to come out here and do everything she can to hold on for dear life, and she's going to stall, and she is going to stall, and then this happens. With an absolute fatal attraction, the Skitty makes the Nosepass fall in love with her, dwindles her down to about a third HP, and it opens the door for a Slack-off clutch with the scratch, and that means the only remaining member of the team is going to be this sleeping monkey, and just the pain and heartbreak for this monkey moving on in this run was too much to bear, and we're gonna have to call it here and reset the run as we only have one Pokemon left. For our third attempt, we lose the Skitty and we lose the MVP Slack-off in the process. So if we can't leave this gym with at least 4 Pokemon intact, including the Slack-off, it's not a world I want to live in. So on to that 4th attempt. Unfortunately, for our 4th and 5th try at this gym, our Zigzagoon, who comes in for that Sand Attack Growl Cheese, goes down both times to the starting Geodude. So I went ahead and just hard reset that. We're just going to get the 4th and 5th attempts out of here, and then let's check in and see how that 6th attempt goes. Gosh. All right, for the 6th attempt, our Slack-off goes out there to take on the world all by her lonesome, and the second Geodude is going to drop back with a rock throw and put her down. For our 7th attempt, we do squeak out of there with both Slack-off and Skitty intact, but again, if we can't win this without 4 Pokemon, including our MVP, it's just not going to be sustainable long-term. So we walk out with that for the 7th attempt. We go ahead and wipe in the 8th attempt. So how about that coveted 9th attempt? All right, do you believe attempt number 9? We've got the Skitty encounter. We've got everyone leveled up to just barely under level 16. So no matter what happens, if they come out to play, they will get upgraded to that level 16. And that could be the difference between a Pokemon living and a Pokemon dying. So we are taking everything that we saw in the first 8 attempts and we are putting them to practice right here, right now. We actually open with the Slack-off, paving the way for the Zigzagoon to come out and potentially knock down the Geodude as low as possible, maybe stealing 1 or 2 of the potions in the process, as Roxanne does move in with a potion there to heal up, and then just doing absolute work with all those growls, with all the sand attacks, and then just milking this Geodude's power points to pave the way for the next Pokemon coming out. So we are doing absolutely phenomenally right now against this Geodude, and the first one falls right here, right now. So we clear the first obstacle. The second one comes in, and it looks like it's Skitty's turn to shine. However, we pivot into Skitty, who tanks a Rock Tomb that slaps her down to 16. She drops to 9, and at this point, we all look at each other and know what's about to happen. Skitty, we're sorry. We hear you, we see you, and we love you. And this, my friend, is going to be goodbye unless Skitty can somehow clutch. And she cannot, as the rock throw comes down. However, it opens the door for a clean swap, and now the MVP is against the second Geodude with a potion already used up. The Encore comes down, the Slack-off is here, so every other turn we can heal up, we can chip down, we can put to sleep, and just rinse, repeat until this Geodude is out of Rock Tomb and it is out of Rock Throw. So once we do that, we can put the Geodude to sleep, and then we can get the baton pass, if you will, get the Whismur back out there. And there is the second potion. So now Roxanne is out of healing. The only healing left is the Nosepass berry. That is the only healing left. So all we have to do at this point is milk the Geodude like a cow, milk him for all he is worth, get the Whismur out there, get the +6 attack, and then just go to work. Because I do believe if we can get Whismur in at full HP, +6 attack against the Nosepass, barring like a double crit from the ugly duckling, we should be just fine. So this Slack-off is doing everything she absolutely can, tanking multiple critical hits, tanking anything that the Geodude has to offer. On top of that, Geodude does have Tackle, which makes it really interesting as well, because all of these attacks just start adding up against the Slag Off, plus the Rock Tomb, changing the speed dynamic to where the Geodude is always going first is really tough. But the Sleeping Monkey is doing so much work right now, and we are almost out of moves ourselves. So right here, we are going to put this Geodude to sleep. We are working our way there. We're going to get the Whismur in there, and then we are going to completely flex on what Roxanne has left. On top of that, the Whismur is going to get upgraded into level 16 against the Nosepass, which is absolutely paramount. So the Howls come down, we flex with a pound, and here we go. If we can get some crits, if we can get some flinches, that would be absolutely massive. As the crit comes down, we double crit the Nosepass, and Roxanne gets absolutely bodied. This is the 9th attempt. This is the dream. We were able to stop by the Name Raider in Slateport City and freshen up those nicknames. So we've got the Blood on the Clock Tower theme. You probably don't know what that means, but I know Socksword does. So a little Easter egg just for him there as we take down the Machop. No problem there. The Meditite comes down. It's going for it all with a Focus Punch, but it's not going to be alive to do it as the Wing Attack one-shots Brawly's second Pokemon. The Makahita comes down, the Ace. Looking strong, looking formidable, but Carly drops back with a stab, super effective Guts boosted Wing Attack, and that is enough for us to secure the second gym badge. Moving right along in this run, we have made it to the 3rd gym. This is the 9th attempt. We are doing this live. We are hoping for the best as the Voltorb comes down. We have Sullivan here. Our Vigoroth looking so good right now, has access to so many useful tools and abilities. We have the Yawn to put the opponent to sleep. We have the Bulk Up to just completely pop off. We have the Slack Off to heal up potentially. And then we have 1 slot left for a damaging move, and we actually decided to go with the really weak Rock Smash. It's only 20 damage in Gen 3, but it is going to be that super effective option against the Magneton, to where everything else we had against the Magneton would have been not very effective. And if we are stuck in there against its Shockwaves and its Sonic Booms and its Thunder Waves, we potentially could not have cleared it in time. So we're really putting a lot of eggs in our basket, but this Voltorb is causing us so many issues that I don't even know what we're doing here. We finally get the Voltorb to fall asleep, but we have burned through our Paralysis Berry, and then we get paralyzed again. So no matter what happens now, we are going to be paralyzed throughout the rest of this fight, which is going to be incredibly frustrating to deal with and potentially devastating, as Watson can really come at us from any angle now, because if Sullivan just gets fully parried like 2 or 3 turns in a row, that could just absolutely spell disaster. However, we thread in those Bulk Ups, no problem here. The Voltorb drops back with another Spark. We get the Rock Smash in, and that is how weak it is. Now, thankfully, there is a high chance that it will drop the defense, and the Self-Destruct comes down. Thankfully, the Bulk Up holds. He doesn't crit through that wall of defense that Vigoroth has so carefully set up in this fight. The Electrike comes down. And now that I'm looking at this, we really should just set up on the Electrike, you think, because Electrike really has a lot of less options than the Voltorb. What's it going to do? It's going to Leer, it's going to Shockwave, a very weak Shockwave, maybe a little Quick Attack, and Howl on the side for good measure. I think we should have just completely blitzed the Voltorb down and then got our Vigoroth in there. But hindsight is 20/20, as you do. We get fully paralyzed there. The Electrike continuing to lay down some Leers here. We slack off back to full HP just to keep it safe. There is the Howl. This little guy's going to run away with it. Enough of the dog and pony show. As another Howl comes down, the Electrike feeling himself. He wants to be a Manectric, and he's doing everything he can to do so. The Shockwave comes down. That does ignore the Bulk Up, as the Bulk Up is physical defense. The Shockwave leads into special attack, and there is the shiny Magneton. He is here to stay. There is the outsped Shockwave because of the paralysis, and we drop to 44 HP. Thankfully, we get a fadeaway crit with the super effective Rock Smash. It's everything you wanted it to be. However, that was not even the ace from Watson, as the Manectric comes down, and now this is the fight. We're floating at half HP. There is a stab Shockwave. This crits. We lose the run. We hold on with 16 HP. The slack off healing us further than what the Shockwave can do. However, that is flirting with those crits, so we are just going to drop back with a Yawn. We are really flirting with the paralysis now, as 2 Howls come down from the Manectric, trying to ramp up on our pride and joy here. But this is the moment, as Manectric is now sleeping on the job. If we can just break through paralysis, get 1 or 2 Rock Smashes, that does no damage. That does no damage. It's not super effective. So even with all those Bulk Ups, it's not for anything, as we get 1 more Rock Smash, the Shockwave putting us into an absolutely deadly territory as far as the health bar is concerned. Now, the Super Potion and Berry have done work for the Manectric, and it is on a +3 attack clip now as the Thunder Wave comes down, and now Adam is paralyzed but shakes that off with the Cherry Berry. Beautiful stuff, and one headbutt brings the Manectric into the red. Watson not wanting to lose his pride, his joy. Manectric holds on, gets brought back to the yellow, but we fade with a headbutt. Good night, Sally. We secure the 3rd gym badge. And that leads us to our Route 113 first encounter. It's going to be the Little Spinda here. Drop back with a Pokeball and secure it and add the 5th team member to the squad. And then for our Route 114 first encounter, it is going to be the normal flying type Swablu here. Drop back with the Pokeball and secure the final team member for the moment. All right, we took down Team Magma on top of Mount Chimney, made it very easy with that Swellow using its Guts ability, and now we are here in the 4th gym, taking on Flannery and her Fire-type Pokemon. We leave with Adam here, just going to get some sand attacks down to decrease that accuracy on the cute little Numel here. The Sunny Day is up, though, so if an Overheat gets off, it's going to do double damage on top of Stab, so it is paramount that we dodge those moves. Magnitude comes down, doing a little bit of chip off the top, but our Linoon is doing work right now. Another Magnitude 8 comes down and gets us to just above half HP, so we are absolutely dead to an Overheat, but we're just going to pivot into Sullivan, who is at full HP, should be able to eat that no problem as it sidesteps the takedown. Beautiful stuff, and we're just going to go into the Yawn, put the Numel to sleep, but the Overheat comes down through the 3 sand attacks, and it is a critical hit. Unbelievable stuff. And now if we get hit by anything, we are potentially dead. This is an absolute tragedy. We're going to try to mix and match here just to get Sullivan back out there. And we do have healing methods with that slack off, but there's another Overheat coming down. Holly taking that one up front and personal. Thankfully, the special attack has dropped onto the Numel. So really good stuff there. And now we're going to go in with our plan B strat. We're actually going to howl up here, getting +2 right there, but the Magnitude comes down. The only problem with how, oh my gosh, it's another critical hit comes down. This Numel said, how dare you come into my gym and set up on me? Everyone's scared of the Torkoal and everyone forgets about the Numel, as this Numel is flexing so hard right now. So we go into plan C, and it's going to be little Dan here, the Spinda, coming out and about. The Numel does fall asleep to the Hypnosis, clutching that terrible accuracy as we might be able to heal up with that Sullivan. We could try to blitz down with Carly, given that Guts boost with the burn and the Guts, but I don't know. This is rough. We do get Sullivan out there and get a slack off, almost healing up to full, which is really nice. We're just going to take 2 turns there. We're going to try to erase what has happened to us, and Numel is still suffering from a -3 accuracy here, but we are completely in trouble. This is not going well. Our backup plan has been thwarted as well, and there we go. We're going to get some bulk ups down, but I am not confident now as we tank a takedown. No problem there. And now Numel has used up its allotted crits here. I don't think Numel's allowed to crit anymore. That would be nice. But the Sunlight is strong, and that Overheat is still present. If he crits, or if she crits another Overheat, this could be disastrous as we do sidestep that one, thankfully. But if it's able to get another Sunny Day set up for its compatriots here, its team members, then we could be in trouble as well. This is just a very tipsy situation. We saw in the grass only run that you are just pinned against a wall if you can't get that strat down, if you can't punish the Numel that comes out first here. But we do sidestep another takedown, which is beautiful. And Sullivan working on that bulk up strat here. We are taking this nice and easy, nice and slow, as a Magnitude 9 is sidestepped as well. So the Linear and Sand attacks are adding up. The Yawn does connect for the sleep here. We are completely maxed out attack. However, we are stuck with the pitiful 20 power damage of the Rock Smash, since this is Gen 3 and it's an HM, so you can't get rid of it till around the 6th or 7th gym. So this is brutal. That's going to be our only damaging method, and that is not going to be able to one-shot anything. Maybe the Slugma, but probably not. It's so weak. There you go, a +6 attack, and it's still that weak, and that means we have to tank an absolute massive overheat here from a Slugma. So if overheat from Slugma, and don't you dare poison. Oh my gosh, and now we have no way around this poison. So we just went on record about how many rock smashes it'll take to finish off Flannery's team, and now this Slugma absolutely god mode clutches this poison, and this is bad. You can feel it. You can feel this looming pressure, and another critical hit. Good God, somebody save me from myself, as we can try to heal and postpone that poison, but either way, the ticking each turn is going to add up so much. I mean, just one turn of sending out another Pokemon is just going to be a tick of poison. So we are absolutely on the clock here. We are in trouble. And the longer this fight goes, the worse I feel about it, as that beautiful shiny camera comes out with an overheat. And this is going to do massive damage, leaving us at 2 HP. It's a good thing we're poisoned, as we lose our ace in the hole, our MVP, the one who would have carried us home. Sullivan drops to the 4th gym leader, Flannery, and we haven't even seen the Torkoal yet. This is an absolute disaster. We've got a Swablu that can evolve because it'll replace this normal typing with the dragon typing. So we just send out Ollie out there and see what she has got cooking. We go all in for the 5-roll, but we get the 2. The camera flexes with a tackle. The fadeaway yawn onto the camera, buying us a couple moments here as we get Adam in there and just see what she can do. Get the headbutt down. Massive damage. It is stab. It is very strong at this point in the game, and we do 2-tap the camel. We do 2-tap the camel as the ace Torkoal comes down. I mean, if we can make it out here with just Sullivan dying, then I guess we continue, but really, Sullivan's the key to this entire run, as Ollie's going to have to take a stab overheat up front and personal, and the Swablu falls. This is just bad news. The White Herb healing up the Torkoal as far as the damage goes, and now he is still in prime position to nuke whoever and whatever he wants. But we can fade away with a Hypnosis here. We can Hail Mary everything we have with the cute and cuddly little Spinda. We do land another Hypnosis, which is just beautiful. But what can you do in this situation other than just chuck Dizzy Punches at your opponent and hoping for crits, hoping for confusion? We get neither, but the Torkoal is still asleep. The bear taking the Torkoal to the distance here, half HP, just the Spinda alone, all alone. The track comes down, Torkoal leaning into its attractive tendencies as you do, but we are going to try to break through with another Hypnosis here, and Dan does dodge the attract spell, but misses the Hypnosis. Brutal stuff here, but we're still in love, and we are immobilized as an overheat comes down, and that is going to be the fatal attraction. The Spinda is gone, joining its fallen comrades, but we're just going to flex with Carly here with the burn boosted wing attack here. It is stab on top of guts, and it's still not enough to take down the Torkoal as we get punished. We get punished so hard, and I do believe Flannery has a hyper potion in the back, and this is a debacle. This is everything you would want it to be. We can all in on a crit, honestly, and we don't get it. The body slam comes down, and Carly's gone. Carly is gone, and I do believe the run is over, but can we squeak out with 1 or 2 Pokemon? Adam comes in with a headbutt, gets the flinch, which is insanity, and we do beat Flannery, but it cost us everything. So this was the 9th attempt. I really thought we were going to take this one to the Elite Four, but we counted our ducks before they were in a row here, and Flannery takes it all. So I think we're going to hard reset and run it back. We had our 10th and 11th attempts completely wipe to Roxanne. So we really thought we had it last time with our 9th attempt, but we fell to Flannery. We dropped 2 more attempts, but here we are in this moment, completely taking control of this fight against Roxanne for our 12th and hopefully final attempt. Let's see if we can see this through all the way to the end. All right, so everything's gone about the same. We've got the same encounters. We only dropped Skitty to that first gym battle, so we are looking really good. And then Brawly is a breeze with that guts boosted Talo here. We got that super effective stab wing attack to boot. The poison doing a little bit of damage, but it's not much of an issue as Wendy's is doing phenomenally. And a very, very fun nickname set here. We're going to have fast food restaurants, so I feel like that's really going to lend itself to the commentary with Wendy's coming down with that big Baconator combo, and there goes the Makahita. All right, take 2 against Flannery. We get the yawn off, and now we pivot back into Zaxby's, our plan B from last time, who is now going to be our main source of damage because the Vigoroth got stuck with that very pitiful in strength Rock Smash move. That doesn't even make sense. Rock Smash just does so little damage in Gen 3, and because it's that HM, we got stuck with it. So given that information, we're going to lean into a stab strength, probably boosted by the Silk Scarf. I can't even remember off the top, but either way, as you can see here, we are looking with a +6 attack Loudred, and Zaxby's is taking names and taking orders, and we are all out of names right here. The Torkoal does hold on to a full damage strength, but we hold on to a body slam and dodge the paralysis, which is absolutely beautiful. We drop back for another strength. Torkoal goes into the red. Flannery, not wanting to lose her ace, uses another hyper potion, but Zaxby's is here to stay, continues to rain down the strengths, and we outspeed and take down the Tortoise. Beautiful stuff. We will take that 4th gym badge, and now let's just keep this thing going. We have gotten further than we were in the 9th attempt, so let's resume back to our 12th attempt here. Let's keep this going live, and we're taking on our father Norman with his normal type. So this is a complete normal type fiesta, as we've got our Linoon against the Spinda. The confusions continue to come down, but we are going to use this little bear. It's going to be an end that justifies the means here, and this Linoon is so good at setting up since it's really fast, so it can outspeed its opponent and then get those accuracy and attack debuffs down, as many as you can, without having to risk a crit, as we do there. And then we pivot into the Golden Swablu here, the Golden Goose, if you will, and we get a ridiculous sing-off. We see through that just terrible accuracy, but the Swablu clutches, and now we pivot into our own little Dizzy Bear. Hardy's getting in on the action, and the own tempo comes down, so Spinda cannot confuse us. Now, that does mean we can't confuse it, but that's fine, as we completely decrease the Spinda's accuracy. So now when we do pivot into our MVP Bojangles, potentially, we're going to be able to get that max bulk up, so that way when they come at us with those physical attacks, they will not be hurting. They'll really have to be relying on those crits. On top of that, the biggest difference between Loudred and the Vigoroth is the Vigoroth can heal. Also, we have access to Yawn, so we can put our opponent to sleep. So Vigoroth just has so many more tools than the Loudred, but it's really nice to have that Loudred in the bat, just in case things go wrong with the Vigoroth. So that being said here, though, Bojangles is ramped up and ready to go. Rock Smash does do pitiful damage, but it is super effective in this instance, so it's going to be doing double. So if you're not going to be hitting hard, at least it's hitting twice as hard, if you know what I'm saying. So here we go. Slacking comes down, and the biggest thing we got to watch out for is Slacking has counter. So we are bulked up to the heavens, so his physical damage isn't going to be doing too much. But if we hit him for that much damage, he's going to hit us twice as hard back with the counter. So it's really pivotal that we play around both the counter and the loaf around turn, which we can absolutely do with Slack Off and Yawn. So we're doing absolute work here. Bojangles, more of a strategic play here because of the lack of damage with that Rock Smash, but it's no problem. We're just playing this smart, we're playing this safe, and then only 2 more gyms or so, and we'll be able to upgrade that Rock Smash maybe into Strength, maybe into Secret Power or Slash, something that hits a lot harder and is a lot more reliable in nature. But we get the fadeaway on the big fella, the Ace falls, and now Bojangles is going to be out here against the final 2 Pokemon in Vigoroth and Linoon. Vigoroth comes down, does take the Rock Smash off the top, comes in with a feint attack that does dodge the bulk up, but it doesn't lean into Vigoroth's really nice physical damage attack stat, so that's good. And then the Linoon comes down, and this is it. This is the final bastion of hope for Norman. Linoon does hold on in about 15% HP, gets a nice headbutt off, but it's not going to do much as the Hyper Potion holds on to Linoon. Linoon is staying in the battle, but the defense does fall, and we outspeed the next turn. Linoon is deleted, and we have secured a very crisp and very clean 5th gym badge. For our Route 115 first encounter, it is going to be the Jigglypuff, drop back with the Ultra Ball, and secure it. And then for our next first encounter, it is going to be the Castform found at the Weather Institute. Go ahead and put that in the PC for now. For our Route 120 first encounter, right there with Steven on the bridge, we uncover the invisible Kecleon, drop back with the Ultra Ball, and secure yet another normal type that we can add to the roster. And I wish I could say it is time for Winona, but we get stuck in this mandatory double battle against Swellow and Doduo. Zaxby's gets absolutely railed, left at 7 HP, hung out to dry, so we're going to pivot back into our own Swellow, Wendy's, to get her out of there. Bojangles is still at full HP with some nice access to Yawn, and the Endeavor comes down onto Wendy's, matching HP with their Swellow, which opens the door for an absolute snipe from the Doduo. A ridiculous combination. And from this point, we have Hardee's and Bojangles going back to back, and it's going to be a nice long drawn out fight, but that was going to be our only death in this fight. So we'll just leave it there and fast forward to Winona and see what happens. It is now time to take on Winona, the 6th gym leader here, focusing on flying type Pokemon. The little Swablu comes down, and we've got Chipotle, our upgraded Wigglytuff, coming down here, showing off a beautiful moveset. The mirror move comes down, responds with the Ice Beam, and we actually get frozen basically by our own Ice Beam. That is so embarrassing, so bad, and now we are sitting here stuck against a Perish Song. So if Chipotle could thaw out here, that would be really nice, but we might just have to cut our losses as another Ice Beam comes down. It just feels like it's reapplying the ice, just making the Wigglytuff absolutely frozen as another Ice Beam comes down with a critical hit on top. Now we do break out of the frozen chamber with a nice flamethrower, but the Parashong is now on 1, meaning both of us are probably going to swap out here. Yep, there is the withdraw, the calculations. However, we pivot into our other normal type Pokemon with a very similar coverage moveset, and we're going to get a 4 times Ice Beam against the Tropius. Beautiful stuff. And now the Swablu comes down and is hurting from that previous flamethrower. We come in with a beautiful fadeaway crit with the Ice Beam, and Chick-fil-A is right here, right now, getting a large number 1 with a Dr. Pepper to wash it all down as the confusion comes across the board. But Kecleon will not be deterred as we go in for a 4 times Thunderbolt. This coverage moveset, brought to you by the Game Corner, is looking so good right now. You have options. Flamethrower and Thunderbolt are both going to be super effective. Neither are Stab, which is really the only downfall to that normal typing. You're not going to get that bonus damage, but with the coverage coming in, you're going to be doing so much work as the Skarmory goes in the red. Winona using another Hyper Potion here. That may be her last one as the Skarmory stands tall. The shiny looking very good as they're swapping out that red pop under the wings with a nice dark green. Really like that as we drop back with a Thunderbolt, and Skarmory is no more. Kecleon finally getting some screen time in these runs, as it really is just, the stats aren't that great, but as you can see, the moveset is there. You can definitely have a good time with it as the Altaria comes down, and we get a beautiful pivot with the baby Swablu against the Golden Goose himself. The Altaria comes down, and we land a 55% Sing onto the ace. Unbelievable stuff, and that's going to pave the way for our 3rd and final normal type with a beautiful coverage moveset. This one's going to be a little bit weirder though. We have the Overheat and Strength, a little bit of Stab to line up there as the Altaria falls into about 30 to 40% HP with that Oranberry to boot. She wakes up, or he wakes up, comes down with a big Earthquake, but we hold on about 60% HP, drop back with a 4 times Ice Beam, and Altaria is gone. Winona is defeated. Go into the Safari Zone to get our next normal type encounter, and it is going to be the Girafarig. Chuck a couple Pokeballs at it, or Safari Balls, I should say, and secure it. It is now time for Tate and Liza, the double battle for that 7th gym badge. This fight can be incredibly easy if you have the right Pokemon. Specifically, any dark types do absolutely fantastic against these guys, but we do not. We only have the normal types here, so we are going to lean into the Linoone and Girafarig combination here, so we can hit super effective with the Shadow Ball, and we can get some really fast headbutts in as well with the McDonald's Linoone lined up. However, that Earthquake does so much damage from the Claydol. We're really going to have to blitz that down if we want to see this through to the end without losing everybody. The Hyper Potion does come down, and that gives us a moment to breathe here as the Claydol won't be able to rain down another Earthquake. However, Xatu uses that moment to get a nice Calm Mind down, and now the Xatu is going to be hitting for super hard. So I don't think we're getting out of here without losing at least one Pokemon, but let's see if we can clear this starting roster on their side. We can also potentially get a flinch onto the Xatu, which would be absolutely massive. That does really good damage. However, the Stab, not Stab Psychic, it is Stab Psychic with the Calm Mind buff comes down, and we lose our starter Linoone. Absolutely brutal. We're going to pivot into Kecleon, see if we can get some redemption there, but that Calm Mind buff is going to be everything as well. It's also protecting it on the special side of things, so This is getting a little bit tipsy. We're trying to, you know, get everything under control, but you can feel it slipping. You can feel it sliding away here. We do have a lot of super effective options from the Kecleon, and the Xatu gets greedy for a second Calm Mind, essentially as a nasty plot proc. The Claydol living on 1 HP and manages to get another Earthquake off. We change to the ground typing. Popeyes drops to about 5 HP of her own, but we get a fadeaway crit on the Xatu. The Calm Mind buffs don't even matter now. Absolute insanity. This is a bloodbath. We drop the Psybeam from Popeyes. We don't want it. We don't need it. We get the level ups, level 43. That could be everything as well. A little bit of a Citrus Berry for reprieve. The Soul Rock comes down. Thankfully, there is no Sunny Day lined up for a potential Solar Beam. So after really thinking about it, we lock onto the Claydol with the Shadow Ball, and we are going to go all in on either a Ice Beam or Thunderbolt for the Soul Rock, potentially getting a status that would be so big as well. And it's just going to come down to this, really. This turn is going to be the shifting point. The Hyper Potion does come down from Tainted Lies, and that Claydol is free. And now it is free. We do get it to half HP, dropping the special defense as well, but Popeyes goes down, meaning the Shadow Ball cannot finish the job. So hopefully we can get someone else in there that can not only outspeed the Claydol, but can take her down from that range. The Soul Rock is just flexing. Could we get a paralysis on the Soul Rock? But we do get another critical hit. Chick-fil-A deep in the bag, like the fries were at the bottom. This Kecleon is doing so much work right now. The Soul Rock does lead into a Citrus Berry for some heal. So the crit wasn't an end-all be-all, but still we are in pretty good position as an Earthquake comes down. And if this crits Chick-fil-A, we are in so much trouble. We do hold on to the red. The Sunny Day comes down. Soul Rock giving us a moment to breathe. The Claydol getting sniped with an Ice Beam. Let's go, Kecleon. That leaves the iconic duo Soul Rock and Lunatone. What can Chipotle do? The Ice Beam comes down and connects on the Lunatone as it comes out. But Lunatone outspeeds everyone with the Psychic and completely destroys the Kecleon. We are down to 3 Pokemon. The Solar Beam comes down and hits Bojangles on the swap, but it doesn't do hardly any damage, thankfully. And we get a fadeaway crit on the Soul Rock. Are you serious right now? But we actually swap into the Spinda in case it goes for Chipotle, and that is exactly what happens. Can Hardy's hold? And yes, she can. The Yawn comes down. We get a little bit of reprieve with the Berry. We can try to blitz down with Strength. We can't really do much with the Vigoroth as far as damage goes, but we go all in, hoping for a crit. Gets Lunatone into the orange. Can Hardy's hold? Hardy's holds with 1 or 2 HP. Gets a Dizzy Punch down, and Lunatone is now in range for a Strength finish. However, the Citrus Berry gets it out. The Yawn setup from before comes down and pays dividends as both Pokemon can fire off and try to blitz the Lunatone before it wakes up. However, if it gets into the red, it will get healed, and then it's going to be a rinse repeat. So we are on the final stretch here. We are worn so thin. We drop back with a Strength. It gets Lunatone into the red. Ken Spinda from downtown reaches into the quiver. The arrow's not enough. Lunatone lives with 1 HP. As you can see, their Hardee's is on 1 HP. Spinda, you absolute monster. Tate and Liza leaning into the Hyper Potion here, stalling us 1 more turn as the Strength comes down, doing about a 4th damage. Dizzy Punch comes in, doing less damage than that. It's not going to be enough unless we get a crit on the next move here. We're going to go in anyway with the Strength and the Dizzy Punch combination. The Lunatone goes all the way into the orange. It's still asleep, which is just beautiful. The Dizzy Punch comes down, leaves Lunatone about 5 HP, and we buy ourselves enough time to finish off the moon. Unbelievable stuff. We secure the 7th gym battle, but it came at a massive cost. We had only lost 2 Pokemon leading up to this point, and now we drop 3 in this single battle. So we've lost a grand total of 5 Pokemon going into the final gym. Wow. And that only leaves Juan here, the 8th and final gym leader. He sends out his tiny little love disc to get the party started. We answer with Hardee's, the Spinda, get that 100% accuracy. Confusion down. We confuse the tiny little love disc, and it hurts itself in confusion. On top of that, Hardee's drops back with a signature hypnosis and sees through that terrible accuracy and lands it, paving the way for Bojangles to come out and start bulking up on the spot. So we're already at +1 attack. The little duckling is sleeping in the rain. I'm just kidding, it's not raining. But for the added benefit, we get +2 bulk ups. The Love Disc wakes up, but still has to contend with confusion, and she hurts herself again. Just an absolute tragedy for Juan's side right here as we get another yawn across the board to put the Love Disc asleep again. We break out of the Sweet Kiss confusion with yet another Person Berry. Bojangles and Person Berries just go hand in hand at this point. We've got 2 bulk ups. Do we want it all? We're going to get rid of the Love Disc right here because we can potentially continue to set up on the Whiscash, since we know Whiscash likes to use its Amnesias, and its Earthquake won't be able to do much damage through those bulk ups. So really, we just get rid of that first Pokemon and lean in onto the second one as the Amnesia comes down, and will have no effect on this game at all. It won't have any bearing on the battle, so we just lean back in to the bulk ups as a Rain Dance comes down as well, which will really add to those water type moves. However, you can't use them when you're sleeping, Whiscash, so a big blunder there as Bojangles continues to smile in this battle, continues to ramp up with those bulk ups. The rain is coming down now, and Bojangles is getting primed and ready, getting a little Cajun Filet Biscuit combo on the side. Maybe grab a Mountain Dew or Pepsi to wash this one down, as Bojangles is here to stay. The rain continues to fall, and this poor Whiscash doesn't even know what's going on outside of its dreams as it tanks the return off the top and gets completely deleted, paving the way for these final 3 Pokemon. The Celio comes down. That is no Walrein. That is no Lapras. It is nothing at all as Bojangles kills yet another Pokemon. The normal typing not holding her back in the slightest as the Crawdaunt comes down. The dark typing not helping in any regard here as the big Crawdaunt falls, and that only leaves the primed and ready Kingdra, the heralded Dragon Water type, and it falls to a single stab return as well. Leader Juan is defeated, the 8th gym badge is secured, and that only leaves Wally before the Elite Four. So basic game plan is just send out the tiny little Swablu, and we're stuck with Swablu since Altaria gets the Dragon typing and loses its normal typing, so that's super interesting. But Arby's is just going to take the Intimidate here and potentially get a Sing down onto the Wolf, so that we can get our Vigoroth in there, and Arby's clutches the 55%. That is disgusting. We probably got the Quick Claw proc as well, so that way we don't have to eat the Intimidate or the opening Sand Attack potentially, and we can just go straight into the bulk ups. This is really good stuff so far. Let's see. But the instant wake up and he gets the Sand Attack. She absolutely gets the Sand Attack, but I think we're okay, and I'm not sure here. Maybe it's going to go for I'm going to go for 3, and that Sand Attack could be everything, but that Crunch misses. That is ridiculous. The Lax Incense paying dividends, but we miss because of the Sand Attack, and then the Crunch comes down, and that is special. So that's actually going to do work here. So given that, I'm actually going to just get a little bit tipsy here, and there is the Roar. That is an absolute problem, and I'm going to go ahead and get a Teeter Dance down just to confuse the Wolf. But those Sand Attacks are going to be a problem here. But I think what we can do is just work around, and hopefully the Wolf can stay asleep a little bit longer this time. But if not, we might have to brute force with those coverage move sets. I'm not 100% sure, but let's go ahead and get 1 bulk up. And she could potentially miss a Sand Attack with the Lax Incense, so we could get a little cheeky on that. On top of that, the Roar reset our special defense from the Crunch, which could be big. Come on, Confusion, pay off. Yeah, the Teeter Dance comes in clutch. Absolutely, and we're just going to get a little bit tipsy with 1 more yawn here. Hopefully he doesn't use Roar. Come on, Confusion, pay off, and the Sand Attack comes down. Okay, that is no problem. I'm going to get another bulk up. I do believe that is 3. Come on, no Roar, no Sand Attack, no Roar. Come on, Confusion. Absolutely, and we get the sleep. This is immaculate. This is beautiful. That's going to be 4 bulk ups. I do want to get a Slack Off in there as well, but I think I'm going to roll 4 bulk ups. I don't think anybody on the other side is like ridiculously defensive in nature, so I'm just going to rattle off these stab returns with a +4 attack. That's going to be hitting so hard. And there is the Shiftry. Oh, but we do miss the return as the Swagger comes in, and if that connects, we are in trouble. Come on, baby girl. We do connect on the second return. Beautiful stuff. So that Sand Attack could be crucial in this fight against Sydney. Let's see here. Cacturne comes down, and I just need this return to connect. Bojangles drops back, hits him with the Chick-fil-A, or hits him with the Cajun Filet Biscuit combo. Absolutely, Cacturne falls, and now we've got Crawdaunt here. Crawdaunt is looking pretty good if it gets that Swords Dance strength off, but if we can just connect on the return as we do the star, The Star Crab goes down, and that only leaves the Ace Absol, which is a little bit scary here. We could potentially die to a crit slash, but I'm going all in, baby girl. Bojangles Ross back. Vigoroth from downtown. Can the Absol hold? And no, she cannot. Sydney is defeated in one of the closer Sydney fights that we have had, but we make it through. We are on to Phoebe. Let's go. Alrighty, time to take on Phoebe and her ghost-type Pokemon. In my grass-only run, she absolutely destroyed me since I didn't have a super effective option. However, this time we have the Spinda, the little dotted bear in the back, and hopefully we can get a window open in order to get her out there and ramp up on the rest of the team. A lot of her team has utility and status, which is going to make this very difficult to work around, but we are going straight in for the yawn here. Dusclops uses Protect. The only way Dusclops can hurt us is by Curse and Confuse Ray. So we're going to try to make it fall asleep. There's the Confuse Ray, and it's probably going to go for the Curse. So we need that Spinda to be our linchpin, which sounds absolutely hilarious. So I really just want to clear this Dusclops since it's the only one with Curse. And there it is. Absolutely. So it's going to fall asleep. And actually, this could be perfect as it is asleep now. We could just go ahead and go straight into Spinda here. And as long as the big Dusclops is just sleeping, we are good to go for... Oh, no. Oh, okay. No, this is clutch. Okay. We get the Calm Mind as the Protect comes down. And if it uses Curse again, we win, right? So... let's see here. Let's actually get a Teeter Dance right there so we can beat it to the Confusion just in case this Calm Mind doesn't work out. But I think we're fine. And can it hurt itself? Absolutely. In the presence of Hardee's, the Spinda, Dusclops has nothing, and we get a fadeaway crit. So we are +1 Calm Mind, and as you can see, we have the rest play so that we can kind of set up for ourselves here. So now this is the Bayonet. This could be the utility Bayonet with Will-O-Wisp and Grudge, or this could be the variety moveset with Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, Psychic. I'm not 100% sure, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to get one Teeter Dance down, but the thing is, they can't hit the Shadow Ball, because the Stab Shadow Ball, because we are normal type, so that's pretty good. It's going to bear a Grudge here, which only procs if we kill the Bayonet, so we are fine there. We're going to go for a second Calm Mind here. We are +2 special defense, +2 special attack, and the Confusion is paying dividends right here. Who would have thought a Spinda would come in clutch in the Elite Four? This is absolutely ridiculous. Hardee's popping off, the Fan Attack comes down, and that does no damage as it is special. Beautiful stuff here. The little panda doing work, the Confusion staying in here. The Grudge comes down yet again. That normal typing is really blocking Phoebe from doing what she wants with their Shadow Balls, and the Confusion comes down. The Fan Attack is here, so we do know which Bayonet this is. This is the utility one instead of the coverage moveset, which is beautiful. That is what we wanted. There is the Will-O-Wisp, but that is no problem, as one, it doesn't hurt our damage output, and two, we can just rest to get rid of it. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to set up the Teeter Dance one more time just to give us a little bit more breathing room potentially, and then we're going to go for that rest cheese. We're absolutely going to go for the rest cheese here, and we do have the berry prepared, so we wake up instantly, and then this is potentially a clean sweep. Potentially, though, we could run into a little bit of trouble given critical hits and some other shenanigans, but Hardee's drops back for a +6 super effective Fan Attack, and the Bayonet is deleted. We still have 3 Pokemon left here. The Sableye comes down. This probably can't one-shot since it's not stab or super effective, but it is 100% accurate, so if it goes for a double team cheese, it won't work, and the Panda gets a fadeaway critical. Hardee's is popping off. Absolutely. Where are you at? As we drop back for another Fan Attack, and the Spinda is becoming a legend right here, right now. Oh my gosh, we lost the Kecleon, we lost the Linoom, and we lost the Giraffe Rig, but Spinda said, don't worry guys, I've got you. This is ridiculous. Absolute insanity. 2 members down. That leaves 2 more to go and the champion. Wow. I will see you at Glacia. So let's see if this works out. That hail really coming down could add up over the course of a battle as well. So let's just see if we can put this chubby buddy to sleep. I didn't want to risk the Swablu's life. We got really lucky with the Sting last time, so we could potentially use that for a beautiful death pivot, if you will. So there we go. We've got the yawn. So what is it going to do? Is it, if it rolls the body slam, this could be huge here. And there, oh, but it misses with the lax incense. Are you kidding me? It absolutely does. We dodge not only the paralysis, but the damage. Because imagine if that crit parried, that would have been insanity. So the hail is coming down. We are +2. Thankfully, the bulk up is protecting us from that potential body slam damage as well. And it goes for the ice ball, which is special. Ice is special in this gen, and it's going to start ramping up. But I'm going to take this moment to put it to sleep one more time, and that way we can get back to ramping up. This is going to do twice the amount of damage. Beautiful. The hail stops, and now we're going to be able to slack off and get that health back. Really nice. And then it's going to get that third ramp up of ice ball. That was potentially dead to crit, but we are just fine. A little bit risky here, but Celia is going to want to set up that hail as well. So we're going to get 4 bulk ups. We don't want to leave that Walrein alive. So it wakes up on the next turn, which is not what you want to see. And I'm going to meet this chubby walrus or seal where she is. We're going to do one more yawn. We're going to put Celia to sleep one more time. The ice ball is going to come down here. The hail is going to continue to fall. But honestly, I'd rather deal with the ice ball than the potential paralysis from body slam. So that's okay. On top of that, yawn keeping us safe, making sure ice ball can't ramp up to more than the second or third proc. So very scary there, but we are just fine. And we just want one more bulk up. And just in case it wakes up, I'm gonna play a little bit safer, get the slack off in right there. And the hail's gonna run out as well the next turn. So this is potentially right where we want to be. The last bulk up is here, and I do believe we outspeed the rest of Glacia's team, so this should just be punching return and getting out of here. So +6 attack, +6 defense, and Celio is gone. Goodbye, my friend. 4 more Pokemon. Glalie comes down, the shiny looking fantastic. That red really pops. Drop back with a stab return, +6, beautiful stuff. And now we got 3 more Pokemon to go. The next Celio comes down a little bit stronger, 2 levels up. Is it enough to hold on though? I dare say it is not. Only 2 Pokemon left. Glacia, what do you have? The other Glalie comes down. Vigoroth, Bojangles deep in the bag, like the fries are at the bottom. Beautiful. And now the final Pokemon, Walrein, the big girl herself. Can a +6 stab full damage return do it? And yes, it can. Incredibly well done, Vigoroth. I tip my hat to you. She carried us home. And now we only have Drake and the champion. Let's see if this backfires or if we can get all the glory that we think we can. Starbucks drops back with the hail, turns into the nice ice form, which is going to make that rock team super effective. And this is garbage. We are not doing this. That is just a bare bones rock team. I thought Shelgon would use Protect, but this is a terrible idea. I'm going to get Spindit in there so that we potentially can salvage our speed stat on the Vigoroth. So this has gone completely sideways. I really thought we had something there, but the Protect comes down, and hopefully Shelgon uses a different move when we get our Vigoroth in here, but the Teeter Dance will buy us just a tiny bit of time. As this Protect cheesing with the Hailstorm, we have completely hurt ourselves with this strategy, but hopefully we can turn this thing around. The Teeter Dance comes down. Hardee's is in pursuit here. Hopefully not a crit. Dragon Claw would be devastating. As the Shelgon's getting chipped away, the Hailstorm stops, and I do believe this means we can get back on track here. We get our Bojangles in there, but the Rock Tomb comes down, so we couldn't salvage our speed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a yawn down, and then I'm going to pivot into someone else just so we can try to keep that speed stat as high as possible. So let's just go ahead and get that +6/+6 and just roll with the punches. Since Shelgon cannot status us, which is pretty huge, so we're just going to have to deal with the speed, which is definitely going to open the window to some bad things. But Dragon Claw is special as well, so I'm not even going to risk this. I'm just going to heal. We're gonna make sure we're playing this as smart as possible. Dragon Claw comes down. I want to get out of crit range. Okay, now let's put the Shelgon back to sleep. And once the little guy is sleeping, we can really get greedy with the bulk ups. But until then, I don't want to risk anything. So no crazy crits, nothing like that. Let's just play this smart. Okay, now we're fine. One more slack off, and then return through and through. And this is going to come down to what Drake's other Pokemon are going to do. And of course, it wakes up to get a nice chip off the top as we kill it. That's the worst case scenario there, as now another Pokemon's going to have a much better chance against us. The Altaria comes down, and we're going to be slower. Do I potentially yawn just to see if I can get a heal before? I think that's what we do. But what if it does damage? Because it's going to be faster than us. Yeah, I'm going to risk it. Okay, it goes for its own Dragon Dance. I think that's okay, because again, if it goes for a physical attack, we are absolutely fine given all the bulk ups. And now I'm going to go slack off to try and heal up. No paralysis, no paralysis. Beautiful. Bojangles, let's go. Give me that supreme combo. We are here in this moment, and now the withdraw comes down to the Kingdra, which is actually huge for us because this is a +6 stab return into the crowned Kingdra. Let's go. Drake played himself. Congratulations, sir. And now we drop back with another +6, no paralysis, and we dodge again. Bojangles is on fire. Get the oven, get the stove. We are doing this live. Oh my gosh. The Flygon comes down. The flamethrower is here. No burn, baby. No burn, no burn, but it's a crit. Bojangles gives 0 Cracker Jacks, though. We are good to go. We are absolutely good to go. And now the Salamence comes down, and it is absolutely going to kill us with a flamethrower, Dragon Claw, Crunch, and this is where we say goodbye. Give the salute to Arby's the Swablu. You've been here all along, you golden, beautiful, clouded bird, and it tanks! It absolutely tanks! Oh my gosh, and you know what that means? We drop back with the Parasong. Okay, we're dead. We're absolutely dead. Oh my god, that's fine. That is absolutely fine. I do believe we just swap into our full health Exploud, who can one-shot with an Ice Beam. Come on, baby. Zaxby's drops back with the big Zax snack tray, gets the sauce on the side, and Salamence falls. We lose the baby Swablu, but we potentially gain everything. So my plan here is to nuke the whale with a Thunderbolt while it goes for a Rain Dance setup, and then I'm going to override the Rain Dance potentially with a Sunny Day, and that way we will resist the water-type moves, since the whale does like to set up Rain Dance. On top of that, though, we can transform into whatever the whale goes for. So I'm very interested to see what happens. We do outspeed, which is beautiful. Can we just get to half HP? We can't make it all the way, and it goes straight for a Blizzard instead. This is not what I had calculated in my dreams. I think we rolled again. I wonder if it would go for another Blizzard. Oh, if it goes for Double Edge, we're probably dead as well. I'm here in this moment. Let's do it. I'm willing. I am here. Oh my gosh, we get a high roll. The first one was a low roll. So I don't know how well that encounter was. Let's just go Thunderbolt. Let's just go for the guaranteed damage, as the Hydro Pump is absolutely sidestepped. That's why you don't give up on Surf, and we get a crit into the red zone. Beautiful stuff. We get a crit into the red zone, meaning Champion Wallace is going to go for a full restore. This potentially could line us up for a 2-shot. Castform doing what she does, and it just goes to about 3rd HP. That's still pretty good, though. We got one of the full restores off the table. I think Wallace has 3 or 4, potentially, and I think we're in this to win this. Hydro Pump does connect. This will kill because it is stab. I'm just kidding. Starbucks holds on to the Java chip, and we get Tentacruel back into the red with a Citrus Berry for reprieve. Now, does Wallace dunk 2 full restores down? Does it go for 2 full restores is the question. And it does not, so it leaves Tentacruel in the red. It absolutely leaves Tentacruel in the red, and 2 Hydro Pumps have been used up. We should outspeed Tentacruel, I think. Please, Vigoroth. Please, Bojangles. Yes, we are faster. Okay. Tentacruel goes down. Now, does it send out the Ludicolo? If it sends out the Whiscash, we could be good to go. The Ludicolo does come down. And if I was a betting man, it would go for the Leech Seed first, right, before it sets up the Double Team Cheese. So I'm going to go in for the Yawn. What does it go for here? It goes for the Double Team. Let's go for the return. We do land the return. How much damage are we talking? It's a stab return. Oh, it's half HP, and it doesn't go for the Leech Seed. If we get a low roll, we'll be fine. I'm risking it all. Oh my god, give me 1 bulk up. Stay asleep, Ludicolo. Absolutely. So, Bojangles, you've come to this moment in the run. I need you to see through the double team and get this Duckling for me. Return. Oh my gosh, this Vigoroth. Are you kidding me? Are you absolutely kidding me? So we are +1/+1. The Whiscash comes down. Now, Surf is still going to be doing full damage, but we are going straight for the Yawn, and potentially, if Whiscash goes for Amnesia, we're going to be looking so good. It goes for the Surf, no crit. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to play it safe. Go for the Slack Off. Please go for Amnesia. That would be everything. It goes for another Surf. No critical hit. Beautiful. I will take it. We're going to play this as smart and as safe as we can. Get that heal up just in case. And all we need is one more bulk up, as the Gyarados Intimidate's going to come down and drop us to a 5 anyway. But that way, I do believe we will be able to finish the Milotic from that range. Absolutely. Bojangles drops back, +6 attack, stab, return. Oh my goodness. We've got the Gyarados. We've got the Milotic. There it is, the Lake of Rage coming to you live here. I think a return potentially can still kill, since it's +5 and stab. Gyarados' special defense is higher. Gyarados is gone, and that leaves the one, the only Milotic. Wallace sends out his pride and joy. It's a 1v1. Can this be enough? This might not be able to one-shot, and it does. Bojangles brings it home. Drinks on her tonight. Wallace is defeated, and we complete this run on the 12th try. Thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it, and I will catch you on the flip. Peace.